Morning, Masumi. How are you doing?
Good morning, Greg. I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. First off, I'm sure you're getting this question a lot, but just being the lead actor in your debut film, what's the key in just actually dealing with that pressure? Is it just coming from a place of gratitude and just not even thinking about it? Is that one of the secrets to actually just being in pretty much in every single frame of this movie? What's the key in handling that?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was kind of freaked out, right? Because I've never done this before. But what really grounded me was that I realized that really I'm just doing 10% of the work. And there are these 300 team of members that are giving their all day and night with little sleep, but really wanting to make this movie good. When I realized that, I was like, I owe it to them to do my best job. So that really grounded me to know that, we're doing it together and I'm just really doing this 10% and I have to do well, I have to do good.
That said, with that 10%, can you just talk about what the kendo style with the swords and just getting your body and like I'm assuming most importantly your mind ready for all of this preparation? How much prep did you have in pre-production? What was the challenge of actually learning that?
Yeah, well, the challenge of learning that is that I never had any stunt experiences and I never had martial arts experience prior. I just really liked kickboxing as a fitness, but that was the extent of it. So getting there, we had a month to prep for kendo, and we had a kendo teacher. I think I met with him maybe just two times, I think. And then there was the sword, because kendo and sword is different. And then there is the martial arts choreography that we had to do. So for a month, we trained with my husband is also a U.S. martial artist, so a champion, I want to say. So then he helped me after I was done with rehearsal there. Then I would come home to my gym, and he would prep me. So it was a lot of teamwork. I couldn't have done it without them.
Your husband, is he also in the film? And if so, how much of a help was that just to have a not just a collaborator, but someone you just really trust implicitly as pretty much a family member guiding, helping you through the journey, you know?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I couldn't have done it without him. I mean, we got married 2 days before we went to Brazil to shoot it. So we were very new couple, and he was, there to with acting too, because he has a very long acting experience. So I needed him to guide me in all the scenes, work together. And then also he was coaching me with the martial art. I just couldn't have done it without him for sure.
Maybe this is a ridiculous question, but your years as a veteran musician and an artist, does music influence the way you act and approach this role, or are they just two different disciplines and one world doesn't cross the other world? Or maybe they merged for you?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I'm sure all art merges, right? They feed each other. I think that because the way that I attend to my music probably definitely helped my acting as well. The way I think about art and the way I feel and perceive things definitely helped. But I would say that for a karaoke scene, because we have a karaoke scene here and I sing, it did not help me so much there because I was too professional. I was in the beginning, I was too professional about it. I was thinking about singing like I would think about it as Masumi. And I realized, oh, this is not helping my character for Akemi. So we try to work it out so it would be more like an Akemi singing.
Yeah, that must have been a total challenge, that scene. But also just working with Jonathan and Tsuyoshi, just having them, these veteran actors by your side, was it also a help as far as just learning the process, just from two really veteran and very talented actors as well, just collaborating with them?
Yeah, I mean, geez, they've been doing it for so long, and their instincts as an actor are amazing, And not only that, but they were so supportive of me all the way. They were always there to help me, and they made that very clear to me. So I learned so much from them. I was constantly taking notes from Jonathan. He's always dropping nuggets of gold for me to learn from. So I was taking a lot of notes. Same thing with Ihara-san. He was always there to help me as well. So I was very lucky.
I'm not, I'm pretty much a hermit. And so, a lot of times I like to stay at home. You're,
Uh-huh.
you're getting married a couple of days before you're heading to production and you're going to Brazil. Were you familiar with Brazil before the trip, or was that also a new journey for you? And what was that overall experience like? Was it really just you were just so locked into the work that you really couldn't enjoy it? Was that what happened? And what was your overall experience?
Going to Brazil was the first time for me. Yes. One of my closest friend is Brazilian. He's from Sao Paulo. So, he told me a lot about how Brazil is like before I went there. But going there was like, it was beautiful. People were really warm. Yes, I was very busy with shooting that I didn't get too much time to explore as much as I wanted. Like I wanted to go to Rio and things like that. But I discovered muqueca, which is like a fish stew. That was really good. I was able to find really foods that I really liked in Brazil, and the team always, told me the best places to go. So I knew to go to the right places, although I didn't have a lot of time. So that was an amazing experience.
Your character Kemi, she's really caught in so many different worlds in this movie. Is that something that you could personally relate because you've actually had so many experiences with living in different places throughout your life, and I'm sure you have a lot of different artistic influences. Was that something that you could really personally latch on to, and did that really help your overall performance and work in the film?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe so. I was born in America, but then I was raised in Japan. So I was constantly dealing with something that Akemi deals with, which is identity and belonging, something that I've always had to think about. And I still think about that, right? I'm very Japanese. I feel like I'm a Japanese woman, but then also I'm very influenced with American culture. So I feel like I was able to bring that to the table, and it absolutely helped me to understand Akemi. She was kind of like me. I was like, oh, I relate to her so much. It's like my story being told.
Speaking of stories being told, I turned 50 next month, and when
Oh,
I was
happy birthday.
thank you. When I was growing up, the idea of Asians or especially Asian Americans actually spearheading a movie back in the 80s and 90s was absolutely impossible. It would be a miracle. But now here we are, where it's not just Asian cinema, it's Asians and Asian Americans contributing to worldwide cinema, domestic cinema. Do you think when I was growing up, it was all about the glass ceiling? Do you see that ceiling opening up as far as Asians, Asian Americans, and is it and do you feel that it's a very exciting time as far as cinema and television goes, or do we have so much more further to go down the road?
I mean, it is exciting, right? I mean, I'm really excited that I'm a Japanese woman being the lead of this movie, not just Asian American, but I don't see a lot of Japanese actresses being a lead in a movie that's shown internationally. And so this is a very exciting time for me. Not just that, but I really appreciated how Akemi was not sexualized in the movie. And that's often the pattern. And she was just badass because she is, she has the strength to overcome her fear, and that's badass. I mean, I'm really looking forward for more stories like this to come out, where Asian women are not sexualized and being portrayed powerfully in media and entertainment.
Now, do you find with your experience with this film, do you have an increased passion for acting? And do you feel like that's going to take acting and music are going to be are two roads that you're going to follow throughout your entire journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. One of the things that I realized with acting was that when I got the script and when I'm getting into the character, you really have to question your own criticism and judgments to things that you didn't even have to understand the characters. Truly, you have to look into yourself. And that, I felt like that experience really made my life rich. It makes me experience life richer, so I don't want to stop now. I want to keep doing both music and acting.
Now, I think do you have a song here in the film? Can you talk about that? And also, what can we expect? I think I checked your stuff out on Spotify. You have an album. What have you been doing within, I guess, the last year and a half of music? Have you been really working on that as well?
So my music "Run Baby Run" is in the movie. I'm singing that song, and it was a song that I wrote when I was going through one of the toughest time in being a singer songwriter. So I wrote it as a fight song for myself. So it's so perfect that it's in this movie. More music is coming to, or is going to be released with the launch of the movie. For the past 2 years, I really wanted to spend a lot of time in acting. So I had to put music on the side so I can dedicate my time for acting. And it's going to be that kind of balance. I'm never going to stop music because that's my soul and my heart and my love. But yeah, I will be releasing music as well.
I don't know how specific you can get really with this, but within your 2 years of just learning about the acting and the acting process, what was the biggest lesson that you probably took away that really surprised you, that was very very big as far as the biggest lesson you've learned over the last couple of years regarding your acting journey?
Hmm. I think it's that I always thought that you need a lot of experience and you need a lot of confidence in order to seize opportunity. But in my case, I started acting school about 3 months when the Yakuza Princess came to me. So I realized that it's not necessarily always about the amount of experience that you have, or maybe the amount of confidence you might have in order to seize an opportunity.
My final question to you is I co-host a couple of movie podcasts, and we usually ask actors and filmmakers to name one of their all-time favorite movies. So just wondering right off the top of your head, what is one of your all-time favorite movies? And maybe this choice, what is it about this movie that still speaks to you today personally and just in general? It's not just a nostalgic pick from when you were a kid, but it still speaks to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tough question. I would say Stephen Chow, King of Comedy. You
Never I've never seen that. No, never seen it.
King of Comedy by Stephen Chow. You have to watch it. I mean, it's the acting is amazing. It's always funny, but it's very genuine, and there's a lot of authentic moments in there that makes me feel like, this is the kind of movie I want to be a part of. Hopefully in the future. That's why, yeah, you should watch it. I really
Uh,
like it.
I'll definitely check it out. Sumi, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg. That was
All right.
fun.
That was fun. Take care.